Hello everybody. You see the temperature? And the time. I just wanted to come in here and say hey. Does that look familiar to you? There's Little Mama's brother. I guess that's the 2015 edition of the Fiat 500. Parao. Just happened to be walking by here. There you have the local traffic. How are things going in YouTubeville? I myself am trying not to have a nervous breakdown. I'm dealing. My Heavenly Father said, you will not have, it's not that you will not have trials and tribulations. That's to be expected. Trials and tribulations walking around here. Can you imagine the King of the Universe walking around? And all the fancy smancy Sanhedrin, Sadducees, and Pharisees were waiting the words of Moses to come true, waiting for that to come true. And he's standing right there in front of them. And they didn't even recognize that it was him. Isn't that something? They didn't recognize that that was him. It's kind of funny. Because sometimes we do not recognize who we are. Yes, indeed. You are not what your ex-boyfriend said. You are not what your ex-wife said. You are not what that school teacher said, that you were stupid. Yes, indeed. No, that's not true. That is a lie. Yes, it is. Someone out there is believing that lie. Someone is telling you certain set things. My eldest sisters used to say this to me. You're fat. You're ugly. You're fat. You're ugly. You're fat. You're ugly. Nobody's ever going to want you. You're never going to have a boyfriend. Blah, blah. That will sear into your mind. You are to allow that to fall off you. Let it dry up and fall off. You are not your circumstances. You are not what someone is saying that you are. Look at a lot of these successful, let's just say, movie stars. Some of these artists, right? You have someone like Tyler Perry that used to sell his CDs out of the trunk of his car and was homeless at one point. You have, what's that other man's name? He's on Shark Tank. The head honcho of FUBU selling hats out of the trunk of his car. You have a lot of celebrities that came to Hollywood and they were just about homeless. Look at them now. Look at, I forget which one of those, is it the Microsoft guy? I forget which one of them is, the computer guy. They started in the 70s or so. Him and his friend from their garage. Look at them now. Do not despise humble, small beginnings. Got an idea? Someone laughing at your idea? Why don't you get educated in that area and laugh your sweet, blessed assurance all the way to the bank when you become successful with that? Yes, indeed. So, gray-haired Granny is coming in here and senses that she needs to encourage one of you, maybe two of you. Sometimes a person will try to tell you who you are, and it's a lie. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. So anywho, some items are being purchased at Babies R Us by family members. I am kind of excited to see what's going to be purchased. Isn't that exciting? To see the onesies and the cute little outfits they have. Oh my gosh, there's so many cute outfits for little girls. My daughter-in-law bought some onesies when I was on my mini vacation. I came back and one of the onesies had little red ruffles. I think it was red ruffles. Well, little ruffles on the hind end. Too cute. You know what we used to do? Some of y'all probably still do this. You know how when the baby gets bigger, they'll get taller, let's say? And you have the onesies and they fit just right up here, but their little toes are kind of scrunched up in the bottom, you know, in the footy part. You cut the footies, right? You cut the footies off. Some of y'all grandmas and mamas know this. You cut the footies off and then you put socks on their feet. And you get a little bit more, a little bit more wear out of said onesies. You know, you're saving yourself some money for, what, about a month? Then after that, it's all said and done, you gotta buy the larger size. All the little tricks. And my Emma, my gosh, she's starting to say words. And it is an incredible thing to watch. From a baby crying and making sounds to trying to put words together. And going from a size 3 to a size 4 diaper and standing up and having a name. She always been, yes, I am now. But when I hear her crying and I hear you know I feel like crying and I go over to that crib. I look at them to see if it's cool, you know. I don't want to kind of step over the mommy bounds, you know. I have to respect that. And those little chubby arms will go up, and what do we do? And I'll take her outside, and sometimes I get the stroller and I get an extra blanket and I put her in the stroller. And it's the early evening, it's still light enough outside. And she'll put her little arms on either side, gripping the sides of the stroller. And that little head is turning from side to side. Everything's so new. And even when they're first standing up, they look down at their feet like they didn't realize they were there. It's like all of a sudden it's like, wow, I didn't know I had those things. What are those? Baby, those are your feet and your toes. You know? And the first thing grabbed for are the earrings, and the flower comes out of my hair, or the glasses come off my face, and I want to go right to the mouth. It is just too sweet to see. Sorry for prattling on. And I am sorry for the noise of traffic. It is what it is. I just felt like coming in here and chit-chatting a little bit. I hope you don't mind. I love taking my friends with me. Yes, I do. Anyways, love you guys very much. I appreciate greatly you watching this video. It is my pleasure to see you in the next one.